Hey guys, I'm going to talk about something. When they put evil right in their face, all right in our face, man. This is how these people do it, man. All right, they through signs, symbols, numbers, messages. I've told you that, man. All right, and I want to point this out to you. Okay, couple things here. All right, first of all, let's talk about that date, December 28th. Now, a lot of you already heard this from me, but let me say it again. All right, because it's very important, man. This goes to my. She's in that big club and she cut a deal and she's with the Luciferians. Okay, because all right, they're Luciferians. Lucifer, the fallen angel, is the head of it all in the end. And he hates Jesus. Jesus is the only thing that can destroy him. And he hates Jesus. And Lucifer knows his fucking days are numbered. Okay? So any slight they can get against Jesus, they don't even want to say his name. Okay? So December 28th, guys, is what they call the most unluckiest day of the year. All right, and it's their one of their biggest days of the year. The occult, they do lots of sacrifices and rituals and shit. Then, so the winter solstice and equinox or whatever the fuck it is, then it's very important to them. And December 28th commemorates something called Childermas, or the Feast of the Holy Innocents. Look it up. It commemorates when King Herod, 2,000 years ago, ordered the death of all Jewish boys 2 years and under in an effort to kill Jesus, the real king of the Jews, because Herod's trying to be king, right? All right. That's December 28th, okay? And that is exactly why Gypsy Rose Blanchard, they used that day as her baby's fake birth date, and that's why she got out of prison on the 28th. Let me explain something about Missouri law. Gypsy Rose didn't have a parole hearing. Okay, she wouldn't have made parole with all the violations she had. She had a million of them. But see, she's being quiet and acting like, oh, she had good behavior in prison. That's why she paroled. No, she didn't. She got the parole date in the fucking mail. Ryan said that. And let me tell you why. They have a weird law there, okay? In Missouri, if it's your first offense in prison, they cannot max you out. They cannot keep you 100%. At 85%, they have to parole you. It doesn't matter what you've done in prison. If you haven't caught a new charge, they have to parole you at 85%. Now, if you violate your parole, you'll go back to jail or prison and finish the balance of your time. As little as she had left, she probably would have done it at the county jail. Okay? Now, that's why they did the fake date for the birthday. Let me explain how the parole works again, like I said. So, once she got to her 85%, they can let her out. Okay? Now, it doesn't have to be exact, though. It can go a couple days either way because she's going to be on paper anyway. Her sentence ended June 25th of 2025, no matter what, because she got a 10-year sentence. And remember, she was arrested the 14th or 15th, but her time in Wisconsin didn't count. Okay? Her sitting there waiting for them to come get her and take her to Missouri, the time did not start till they landed in Missouri. Okay, she owed Missouri the time for her mother's death, not Wisconsin. When you're being held for extradition, that time does not count. Okay, so so then she must have got to Greene County on the 25th of June, because exactly 10 years later, her sentence ends. Whether she's in prison or on paper, it doesn't matter. It will end, right? Okay. I have had clients and friends and everything that I've known how they do this, man. Is if you are that close to Christmas and your release date is the 28th, they always let them out on Christmas Eve. I've seen it a million times, man. And it's not for the inmate, it's for the inmate's family. And especially if they have children. Now, of course, she didn't have children, she still doesn't. But still, that warden got a call and said, let her out on the 28th. This is how they do it, guys. They want the whole world to see. Okay, not to mention, they let her out. She was released at 3:30 in the morning. They don't ever do that. And Mike Stansfield was there. Her public defender shows up to her release. Guys, no. And I bet you they're so sick and so wild and how they think about the universe and numbers and all this shit. I bet you they stood at that gate until the clock hit 3:33, and I bet you she walked over it. I bet you she walked over the line to walk through the fence at fucking 3:33 a.m. They released her at 3:30 in the morning. I bet you they did it at exactly 3:33. There's that 333 again. This is how they operate. And that's exactly why it was December 28th. The warden got the call and said you let her out that day. All right? So that's that about the December 28th. That's what that's about. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is before this video came to me, there was a thing showing you about the relationship between the name Lucifer and Aurora. All right? Now, we've got in Roman mythology, which is not the same thing. I know that. Lucifer is a fallen angel. He does not have a mother. Okay? He's an angel. But in Roman mythology, Aurora is like dawn, the dawn goddess, and her son is morning star. It's supposed to represent like Venus, right? Okay, but my friend was telling me, we're talking about, he says, no, it's way deeper than that. He says, basically, Aurora is the female equivalent of Lucifer, in that Lucifer means light bearer or light bringer, and Aurora basically is that too, the morning light, the bringing the light. Aurora's counterpart, Eos, was the one that brought the light charity, the chariot of light to the whole world and all this shit. It's the equivalent of it. And you'll also see listed on there, if you stop to read it, that they made an actual, this is how bold they are, disgusting. They made an actual TV show in the 2000 sometime, I don't remember when, you can look it up, called Lucifer. They made an actual TV show to make it look like, oh, he's just that old fallen angel from old, he's just misunderstood, he's just a nice guy. Fucking Lucifer. And guess what his daughter's name in the show was? Aurora. And they called her Rory. Aurora fucking Morningstar. Okay? So that's the significance of Aurora. Now, the night of the torture ritual and sacrifice of Dee Dee Blanchard, I've already told you who was there. Gypsy, David and Kim Blanchard, Ace Bannister, real name Brian Rogers, and Dan Glidewell. Okay? Well, how come of all 5 of them, 3 of them have an association with the name Aurora? Anytime any of these fucking nasty, evil motherfuckers come across something female that they have the authority to name, they come up with Aurora. Now, you guys, I want to tell, this is my opinion, but to me, and I know some of you viewers, I got a couple of viewers, their name's Aurora, and I'm sorry, okay, when I say this, but that, to me, that's an ugly name, especially for a girl. I think it's, I know it's got an A at the end, so it's not for a guy, but it's a rough Aurora. There's nothing pretty about that. And I know that's my opinion, but what I'm telling you guys is Aurora has never been a name that people were just, it was the most popular name and people were falling over one another to name their kid. Like what? We had a run of Bella. Remember? Everyone named their kid Bella. Everyone named their kid Brittany at one point. Everyone, you know what I mean? Aurora's never been that. How come Gypsy names her supposed baby Aurora? How come that Kim Blanchard, David Blanchard's wife, from a previous relationship, had a daughter named Aurora? How about Ace Bannister, a.k.a. Brian Rogers, has a daughter, and her name is Aurora? And in fact, if you stay to the end of this video, it's going to flash up a picture of that little girl real quick, and it's going to show you about Aurora, you're a big girl or whatever. All it is, guys, don't freak out that I'm showing. This is a very public post. It's probably still there on Facebook, and I think it was on Instagram too. It's just Aurora waiting for the school bus with her mother on her first day of school, and she says something about Aurora is a big girl. But it shows, and it's Brian Rogers' kid, Ace Bannister. And it shows you there up there, her name is Aurora. So 3 of the 5 people there are using the name Aurora, and Christy Blanchard has a fucking female dog, and they name it Aurora. This is not a coincidence. This is not because it's a beautiful name. It's because they're all fucking devil worshippers, and it's an ode and a nod to goddamn Lucifer, man. It's nothing else but that. That is what this is. All right? That is what that is, man. So, do with that what you like. But I just like, for some of the new people that I haven't told this to, take a look at that, man. That should be significant to you. Of course, no, it doesn't directly prove anything. I know, well, it's not proof. No, it doesn't prove anything. But goddamn, man, when I'm telling you that these people gathered to do a satanic ritual and sacrifice, And of the 5, 3 of them are associated with that fucking name. And it's the same name that Lucifer in the TV show, they gave to his daughter Aurora. Which happens to mean like bringing light, light bearer, which was what Lucifer is, the light bearer. You guys, it's right in our faces, man. Dee Dee Blanchard died as a result of a torture ritual and traditional Judas sacrifice. So her piece of shit, ungrateful, psychopath, maniac daughter can have the things of this world. I'll see you in the next video.